I think the debate is over. One of Macklin Celebrini or Connor Bedard, maybe both, will be on Canada's Olympic roster in 2026. The new era of the NHL is here, and we know that. It's being led by both of those guys. I'll throw Matthew Schaefer's name in there too because he's been so good and he's a legit number one defenseman in the making who's already contributing to his team in a massive way. But I want to focus on Bedard and Celebrini because what they did the other night is something we have literally not seen in 81 years. Second time in NHL history, two players 20 or younger had hat tricks on the same day. Bedard did his at home against the Calgary Flames. 3 great goals. Macklin Celebrini did his at home against Utah. 3 great goals. The overtime one especially was such a beauty. Top corner on Vejmelka. I mean, it's just a thing of beauty. They're legit superstars. And if you're looking at the top players and scoring in the NHL this season so far, their names are right behind Nathan MacKinnon and Connor McDavid. And they might be playing together come the Olympics. Let's focus on Celebrini for a second. He joins Wayne Gretzky, Crosby, and Mario Lemieux as the only teenagers to have 30 points through the first 20 games of the season. Superstar level for Macklin Celebrini. For me, he's already played his way on the roster. He is actually ahead of Connor Bedard. And I want to revisit some comments from the Canadian general manager, Doug Armstrong. He said Bedard and Celebrini have been told that October 7th to January 1st is massive for them, just like everybody else. There's no age limit, or you don't have to be a certain age to make this team. If you're good enough and you can help this team compete to win, then you'll make this team. Both of these players have gone above and beyond what they need to do this early in the season. And I know we're not even at the end of November, but you can tell by the way that they're playing, how hard that they're playing, what they mean to their teams, stepping up in big moments. It's not some sort of fluke. And they're not just starting the season hot. This is legitimate. Bedard did whatever he did in the offseason and looks like a completely different player. He's playing with an edge, he's playing with swagger, and he's put his team on his back. He is now part of the leadership group for the Chicago Blackhawks. Celebrini is the Sharks' number one player. He is their number one go-to guy, and he's doing it every single night, not only offensively, but defensively as well. And I think that's where he has the edge over Bedard when it comes to making this team. Because if I were to project a line with Celebrini on the Canadian team, it would probably be on the third line with a Sam Bennett or a Suzuki centering him and Mitch Marner. You get the best of both worlds on that line. You get 3 players who are defensively responsible and can kill you on transition. At least Marner and Celebrini can. Celebrini did that in his last game where he scored the hat trick. Look at a couple of those goals, at least one of them. The breakout, the passing, and the scoring. It's turning defense into offense immediately. That's what Celebrini is doing. I know he's young, but he plays such a mature game. I don't know how you can leave him off at this moment in time. If you were to project who's going to be on that team, I think you just got to look at the Four Nations roster and assume that anyone who made that Four Nations team for Canada has first priority in making the team unless they play their way off. Well, I look at a guy like Sam Bennett. Hasn't been playing very well. Actually, he's been playing pretty poorly this past season. I don't even think he has 10 points for the Florida Panthers. I think his spot's in jeopardy. Brandon Hagel, I think his spot is in jeopardy. Mark Stone is still injured. If he's healthy by the time the Olympic comes around, they probably take him. Konechny. Has Konechny really played that well this season? Not really. So there's a couple spots that I think are available, and there's no reason why Celebrini or Bedard shouldn't be picked. When you're looking at the style of game that's going to be played at the Olympics, it's not as physical as the NHL. Yes, it'll be played on NHL-sized ice, but you can't be flying around throwing big hits because you're going to get penalized. That's just how those rules work. It's not the same as the NHL. They take headshots very seriously, and a guy like Sam Bennett, who is known for headshots, is not going to be very useful in those situations. Not saying he's going to join the team and go around elbowing people in the head, even though he's done that in the past. But you don't need that type of player as much as you would if it was a Four Nations type tournament or if it was NHL rules. Celebrini, you're getting a responsible guy, a guy who can score. With Bedard, it's a bit trickier for him to be on the team because where do you put him, right? that's a guy you probably want in your top 6. If you're looking at the players who are going to fill out the top 2 lines, you have a combination of Crosby, McKinnon, Reinhart, Braden Point, Connor McDavid. And then I think on McDavid's left wing is most likely going to be Zach Hyman, even though I don't think he should be there. But McDavid and Hyman play so well together. Hyman knows how McDavid plays. He's comfortable. Hyman can get to the net and score those types of goals. So I think he may have priority over a guy like Celebrini or Bedard. But if he's not one that's in, that's Celebrini or Bedard's spot. I mean, none of the fringe players are outplaying Bedard and Celebrini. None of them. Barzal, no. Sam Bennett, like I mentioned, no. Quentin Byfield, no. Seth Jarvis, maybe. Because he's on that Four Nations roster and he's been pretty good to start the season. He might have a foot in the door. Wyatt Johnston, no. Konechny, no. I mentioned him. Carter Verhaeghe, no. Guy like Mark Stone is injured, so who knows if he'll even be there. So these guys have a legitimate shot. And if Hyman is not going, I think that second line left wing spot probably goes to Connor Bedard, or at least should. And then behind him, you have Macklin, Celebrini, or you interchange them, whatever you want to do. And then your extras are probably Scheifele and Hagel. If those 2 young guys get brought onto the team and just can't handle the pressure of playing for Canada in the Olympics, then you can swap them out with 2 other players who have been very, very good. But the time is now, and I think the debate is over. These 2 guys, or at least one of them, deserves to be on the Canadian men's Olympic team.